This meeting to order. It's Tuesday, April 30th, 2024, and we are here for the monthly department head meeting. So I'll start with our maintenance. Randy?
Okay, I've been trying to get bids together for your guys' office project, and so far this is the only one I've gotten back. I've left messages yesterday to the other three that were interested in giving me bids, but they haven't got back yet.
Okay, these are copies for each commissioner? Okay.
Yeah, oops. Got one for you, yes, that's what I did for you. Before. I worked with Colleen on a few things. We're going to try to do a little tool shed out in the yard or behind the building to store our snow blower and our lawn equipment and stuff instead of having to drag it back and forth across the street.
Mm-hmm.
We can come up with the funding, then I'll just put it together. I looked at getting a pre-built one and they're just way too expensive. So
Okay.
I'm going to start doing the repair and repainting of the basement bathroom this month. And then there's just I've got about a 6-page list of just a bunch of little odds and ends that need attention.
Okay.
So other than that, we're moving forward. I'm working on the banisters. That's going to be my major project. I'm going to work on all the, trim around all the tables and the countertops in all the offices because they're looking pretty shabby. So I'm going to come in on a couple of Saturdays. I'll just swap them Monday and Saturday around, and when nobody's here, I'll try to bring those up so they look a little nicer.
Okay.
Okay. Other than that, that's it.
Appreciate it. We'll go with the airport. Randy?
Don't have a lot to report. I've got a new hangar going in. Should start. The materials have been delivered yesterday, and the crew's going to show up tomorrow. The 50 by 50, 2,500 square foot hangar that's going in. So probably, I didn't check, make sure, about $10,000 worth of fuel so far this year.
Okay.
That's about all I have.
How are we on fuel? What's the...
We're just about ready to order a new tank pro. Gentleman from Kalispell is going to be here to help us go through that procedure and stuff when the tanker shows up from Tacoma.
Okay. Now, is he going to be here Friday by chance?
Yes.
This Friday?
Yeah. We'll be getting about 4,000 gallons.
Okay. All right. Good morning. Okay, how about fire mitigation?
So fire mitigation, I've got one crew working north of the airport, and they'll be finishing up their cut slash here probably Monday, Tuesday next week, and then we're going to move out of that area. We'll have to go back in the fall and burn piles. I shut down all the burning for my crews, and because I really don't want to be chasing fire all summer. Other than that, just doing, I've been getting a lot of calls for people wanting fire mitigation, so the list is getting longer, and there's no shortage of work. It's just finding crews to do it.
Okay. Any questions, Commissioner Cassidy?
No.
No? Okay.
Wait, well, I do. Have you been still working up on Kellogg there above Mission? I thought I heard chainsaws. I was just curious.
It wasn't, as far as I know, it
ago?
wasn't my guys that were up there. The person that had that contract quit and went back to work for the forestry. So now I gotta find somebody to finish that contract.
Okay.
How is the workforce? Are you able to? Are we losing contractors up here like we were, or do we have?
The problem is I've had people interested in doing the work, but as soon as they find out insurance and have to have workman's comp and all that other stuff, they check into it and find out the price of that. They don't want nothing to do with it.
Okay. Are you able to get outside area contracting?
We've put the word out,
Okay.
but nobody's.
Really?
One guy from Cheney called me and we talked, and he said, "Oh, okay, well, he wanted to do it all machine." this is North Idaho, we don't have much machinery around, especially for small excavators and skid steers.
Okay. All right. Solid waste.
Solid waste, well, we've kind of changed the stickers a little bit because we've been having so many issues with them getting returned or undeliverable or not getting delivered to the residents at all. So it's costing us money to have to replace the stickers that they have never received. So now it's, if you drop your form off, it'll be ready for you the next day up in the scale house to pick up.
So that's why you pick them up instead of they're not being mailed out anymore.
Yes, unless they're like out of state. Then I'll, usually out of state, I never get the return from out of state, but it's been happening a lot here.
Okay. Have we put it in the paper or noticed it in the paper that maybe we could?
I haven't posted it in the paper, but I do have signs up in the scale house, one in the office, and I've been letting the guys know that when they're up there handing the forms out, to let them know that they can pick them up
Okay.
the next day, unless it's the weekend, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe it's something in the paper too, because people are kind of confused.
Yes.
Yeah. But
And
I
I'll
think
get
we should
something in the paper,
publish.
too. It's something that's started.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe we can get with Sydney and see if we can get something in the paper to notify the public that that's what we're going to start doing. Okay.
Do you have
Anything
them
else?
kind of signed that they received the stickers? You know, kind of process so they say, no, I didn't get them.
Well, I go in QuickBooks and I do the form for it, and then I take their stickers to it. So if they get their stickers, they take the whole thing. So they get this paper and the sticker. But I have the form down in the office, the file cabinet, that shows what it was done.
Okay.
Everything else is business as usual. Had a couple breakdowns, but we're working through it. The air burner we've been using about 2 times a week, roughly 2 days a week. But the EPA came back with a new ruling that we do not need that Title V permit anymore. So that's going to be a pretty big savings as far as the engineering goes and all that stuff. So because of what we burn in it, it's all clean wood. So the EPA has said that we don't need that Title V permit anymore. So
Okay.
that's
Good.
pretty big.
Yeah, that is.
Had we already spent the money on that?
No.
Or? No, we were still waiting.
No,
Good.
we had started the engineering, but luckily we had started it. Basically, we had a year to get it, so the engineering firm was kind of dragging their feet on it because it had so much time, which worked out great for us. So, we only had a small bill with them. So,
Okay. How's the truck order with the new truck that we approved?
the truck is in Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
But they're waiting on, so when it gets to Spokane, the dealership puts in a wet kit. It's a hydraulic kit that runs our trailers.
Mm-hmm.
They're having problems getting the parts.
Oh,
So it's sitting there waiting for parts right now. But I mean, that's
Yes, yeah, that's
par for the course right there.
Yeah.
So maybe in a couple of weeks we'll have that one.
Okay, good. Okay. Mike, ready?
Good morning.
Morning.
Probation is alive and well.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I can run through some numbers real quick.
Okay.
Probation, misdemeanor probation, we have 61 active cases. We have 15 misdemeanor warrant cases, which are separate from the 61. We have 21 diversion and juvenile cases. And we have 8 people that are actively in treatment court. We have 3 folks that are actively in ILED program. So we're pretty busy, keeping busy with those folks and work with where we call in. She probably going to update you on some things there, so I'll leave that alone. We also have plenty of community service sheriff's labor that we sign up for folks, so we are staying busy.
Okay. Is it rising or are we just kind of
It's
kind of leveling?
Diversionary cases on the juvenile end, we just had some incidents in Kellogg. there's some fighting going on with middle school leading to younger high school kids that, and I think there's like 5, which, you know, in Shoshone
Yeah.
County, that's
Yeah.
a big,
Mhm.
big push for 1 month. So those kids are going through the diversionary process. They're
Okay.
first time offenders, so
Okay.
we want to work through with them, get them so they don't have a record.
There you go. Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you. How about roads?
We've been busy. Our, biggest event was the rock slide on Moon Pass, that happened 2 weeks ago. And, we've been working hard to try to secure some emergency funding through LTAC. They have an emergency LRIP program where you can, apply for up to $100,000 for emergency assistance. So we should find out whether that application will be approved, Thursday of this week. And costs for the cleanup have been estimated to be roughly about $200,000. So, we will have to shoulder some of that. I have a few feelers out to see if we can get any other assistance on this, just because, nobody has an extra $100,000 in their budget for an unforeseen event. So our hope is that we can get in there next week and start working on things. A lot of the cost is going to be in the rental equipment. Because we're going to need excavators bigger than what we have. We're going to need a rock hammer. We don't have that in our fleet. And so we decided up there it would make more sense for us to rent a crusher and crush the material at a staging location very close to the site, rather than truck it all the way back down to our yard in Osborne. We feel that the savings would be significant. And so that's our plan moving forward. We did have a geologist come up and do a site visit with us last week, and we've had an engineer go up separately on a couple different occasions to formulate the safest plan possible, because we're dealing with a pretty significant amount of rock, estimated to be a little over 8,000 cubic yards of rock that are currently on the ground, and we anticipate some more to come down while we're clearing it. So safety is going to be our number one priority, and once we get in there, we'll see kind of how slowly or quickly we're going, but we would like to get the clearing done, inside of a month. We still want to try to stay as on schedule as we can with getting that roadway open for, safe public travel. Because there are a lot of things that are being held up by that. We have a leading Idaho local bridge, Bullion Creek Bridge, that will be inaccessible for the bridge replacement that's supposed to happen later this year if we don't get that open. So, just a lot of things through to the Hiawatha would be affected. Forest service business, fishing game business, recreation. We're looking to have a significant fire season this year, according to what they forecasted. And that is an emergency route, for the community of, a secondary route for the community of the St. Joe River corridor down there too. So we need to kind of look at all the aspects. But I will definitely update the board early next week when we get moving on things. And then, individually, if you would like to take a trip up there to see it yourself. I know you're kind of busy, but if we can squeak in some time, I'd love to take you up there and show you the site in person.
Okay.
Beyond the slide, we're seeing some issues with our employee staffing right now. We have 22 employees throughout our 4 road districts. We are currently down 6 employees. Some of those are medical reasons and some of those are unfilled positions. So in the Murray district, we are down 1 employee. In the Osborne district, we are currently down 1 employee. In the Smelterville district, we are currently down 1 employee. And in the Marble Creek district, we are currently down 3 employees, which leaves us with 1 employee actively working down there. And so for safety reasons, anything that is done, outside of the shop or, something that we would consider safe for him to do, we have been taking an employee from the Smelterville district and having them go down there. So if there's going to be any heavy equipment being run, anything like that, we don't. There's no cell service down there, and radio communications are limited, and it's just too much of a safety concern. So we've been shuffling quite a bit. Of those employees down, 3 of them are mechanics. So we have 1 mechanic that is currently working in all 4 districts right now. We hope that we'll see the one from Osborne come back later this week. But we're not sure yet. I don't know how he has this appointment. So definitely some shuffling. That being said, we are still out, working and filling in wherever we can. Our biggest motivation right now is to get the Wallace side of Moon Pass ready to receive the heavy truck traffic that we anticipate with this slide clearing endeavor. And so they've been up there working on that. We've had to pull out the last few days because of the heavy rains. So we're just going to have to wait and see and get started on that again next week. Other than that, we've been, brooming when we can, weather dependent, brushing. We've been doing some blading in certain areas. So we've been trying to switch gears with whatever we have for weather to get our regular maintenance done. And so that's kind of the bulk of what we have going on right now. Later this month, they will be doing some paving of the bridge on Country Club Road, going up to the golf course at Big Creek. That's part of the Leading Idaho Local Bridge Program. And so that's not going to be our guys, that's going to be contractors working on that. And they were just waiting until the plants got fired up and they could get their comments. So, but other than that, we have a bid opening later today in our office for the the strategic initiatives funding that we got $990,000 for some repaving of a section of Silver Valley Road. So we'll find out, who we get on that, and then I'll bring that to the board next week for your official approval on selecting the contractor.
Okay, do you have any questions, Commissioner Cassidy?
Nope, not now.
I don't have any either. Well, thank you.
Sure.
Yes. I have a whole bunch of stuff I could talk about, but I'll get it next meeting.
Grant Administrator.
I won't bore you with a lot of the details, but we've had a pretty statistically anomalous success rate in our grants over the last couple of months. We've had 100% that we have submitted have been approved. So we're sitting at around 700,000 of approved grants for different things. And right now there's about, there's about 230 of approved grants, $230,000, and about 480,000 that is made it to the second round that will come in, so about 700,000 in this first quarter once they're approved. So quite a few things going on in that, yay. And other than that, a lot of reporting, year-end, quarter-end reports, putting all that kind of stuff together. Prepping for 2 additional grants that would be big if they're feasible, then they would be pretty substantial for the county, a couple $1 million worth. Let's see, ILED, where to begin? That has been a lot of good stuff going on. So our numbers are starting to come in. We have really good success rate. We did change some staff at IDOC, so hopefully we'll get through that one smooth. They've been fun to work with. It's 2 of the grants that we have right now are first-time grants, and so we are working through the processes as guinea pigs, I guess. they keep changing the processes on us, but it's all good. Well, we're leading the way on these different ones. But the numbers with the ILED participants and the successes with that being able to overlap into the other misdemeanor probation people and doing the group therapy has been phenomenal. And the success rate for that is just adding to the savings on the judicial and the burden that our judicial system sees. So we're working on some hard numbers on that, but it's been pretty substantial in those participants in there.
That's good. It's really good.
No.
You have anything further?
No. I do have a question.
Okay.
So the Title V permitting, we don't need to go any further with that. Will there be some bills submitted to that?
I don't believe there's going to be anything else coming from Malfoss, but I will check.
Okay.
Because we received 1 bill from them, because they bill monthly, but they hadn't proceeded any further past that. So I don't believe there's anything, but I'll check to be sure.
Did I get that bill? It doesn't seem familiar. I'll have to go check.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So we are
Planning and
definitely busy. You knew when the weather broke and we were just absolutely getting hammered with building permits, which is great. You know, we want to see that. We've got 15, possibly 16 applied for this month. We also have conditional use permits, subdivisions underway at some, you know, there is some process of coming for you or planning and zoning commission. We have several vacations of right-of-ways that we're still moving forward, hoping to get through to you, the commission as well. And then we are also finalizing the driveway ordinance to get to the commissioners
Okay.
to get signed off on. I just need to get that.
That's that road ordinance, driveway?
Yes.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, we are no short of busy right now.
I
Yes.
like that.
And Dan is in training today, so I'm kind of a one-man band trying to keep everything moving along.
You have any questions? No? Do you have any further?
I've been here, yeah, I've been busy with everybody, so I'm going to go. Bugging everybody.
All right. Well, if we don't have anything further, we'll adjourn this meeting. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Shoot, I planned for a whole hour.